One of the things that Millet said is that he wouldn't deal and he wouldn't trade with communist China for being communist, I assume. But I still understand that he is trading, or that Argentina is trading with China. One of the things that you have written about a lot is globalization. And I think a tension between conservatives and libertarians or classical liberals is that they're worried about where some of their goods come from. So Britain right now is worried where their steel is coming from. They don't want to get it from China. Do you think this is an issue that countries should be concerned about?
I think countries should be concerned about this, but they shouldn't overcorrect for the fact that they haven't been concerned in the past. So why should they be concerned? Well, obviously we know from, say, Germany's dependence on natural gas from Russia. It's not a good thing to be dependent on an actor that might not have your best interest at heart and might actually want to use that position to coerce you into certain policies or behavior. And that's a bad thing. We don't want to be overly dependent on China for any one particular good that's incredibly important to us. But the solution is not necessarily, I think, to cut off China entirely. Yes, we should vet investments and make sure that they don't have any chokeholds. But the solution is not to concentrate our supply chains, because that's even worse. It means that we have more choke points and single points of failure. It is to diversify supply chains and make sure that we have more options in various places. I think an important lesson came from how China tried to use trade as a weapon against Australia, shutting off all their exports basically. And it didn't help them to get Australia to change any policies. This was related to Australia wanting an investigation into COVID's origins and so on. And why was that? That was because Australia was such a powerful trader. They had so many other routes to turn to and reroute supplies, corn to India and coal to Japan, and I think some Merlot wines to me and other friends of mine. So they could rapidly get back all those exports. And in the end, I think they only lost some 0.0001% of GDP, even though this was meant to destroy the Australian economy. Why? Because they're such powerful free traders and they have important goods that are needed on the global markets. That's what we should do as well. Britain and Sweden and Europe, we're going to have to make sure that we have many different supply chains, invest in many different relationships, free trade with as many as possible. Then in that case, some trade with China only helps us because they're more dependent on that than we are on them.